प्रपन्न पारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः।
ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। We are studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita with Shankaracharya's commentary, and on the last occasion, 3 days back, we had studied shlokas 5th and 6th of the 13th chapter, but we had not read the commentary thereof. Now let us feel once more the connection right from the start of the 13th chapter. One thing we have already noticed, that the atmosphere here, the psychological, spiritual atmosphere here is totally different from what we were having in chapters 7 to 12. We have seen from the beginning that chapter 1 or 2, as you may like it, to 6, was all dealing with karma. The 6th chapter, known as Dhyana Yoga, also was studied in connection with karma. In 2 ways that connection was told. One, that dhyana seems to be the sequel of karma. And secondly, karma is the outside aspect of that very sadhana of which dhyana is the internal part. And that karma was told in quite detail. And there was very little difference to anything outside the individual self. And the individual self is transcendent over everything. That was the theme. And the changeover took place by the last sloka of the 6th chapter or the first sloka of the 7th chapter. And there we were told that if you meditate with me as the center, and if you reach the goal, then when you come back, how you will see me in my entirety, that I am telling you in the beginning itself. So it was evident, with the help of the matter dealt with in Sri Ramakrishna, the great master I am talking, though it is very evident in the shloka itself, that in the beginning it was very easy for man. The life was very simple comparison to today's artificial life. And so, and the life was peaceful comparison to the hectic life we are leading today. So it was very easy for man to observe that everything in this world is continuously changing and vanishing. And so man could easily deduce that the reality is transcendent over everything. And so the path of knowledge as we know it, the path of analytically finding out the transcendent reality, was discovered first or brought to completion first before the path of devotion was opened. How the path of devotion was opened? When the people reached the absolute reality through that meditation. Though there is some difference in the Gita, everywhere the avatar stands, but even then when after realizing the transcendent reality, man turns back, he sees the world is full of that very reality. That very reality which was found to be beyond is found to be pervading. And when it describes the pervading reality, those who have realized, when they come back, they describe the all-pervading nature of that reality. Automatically, 2-3 things come out. One is that Brahman is as immanent as transcendent. And Brahman is Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Karta, along with his transcendent reality. And so, if he is Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Karta, definitely he is Saguna with attributes, though may not be with a particular form. But such people, this type of mind, which devotes itself to that immanent reality, automatically holds to some form of God and forms a relation with that God. And so that is the path of devotion. When God is everywhere, is my reality, your reality, reality of everything in the world. As I would again and again tell, in the very sweet way in which in Maharashtra, in a hilly tribal area, the small school boys replied. I asked them, is there a God? Yes. Where does God live? They said in Marathi, Anu Renu Marathi. God lives in every atom and molecule of this world. That was the reply. Now, when I'm telling about that, there was a few exceptions. They said God lives in heaven. I understood the influence of Christianity over that tribal people. But the natural response of the tribal people who have not been tutored into any religion is that God lives in every atom. So a flow of devotion comes out. A love relation comes out. We form some relation with that God. We hold on to some form of that God. Even the Brahma Samaj people, they said God is without form. But that God without form, as explained by one of my friends, is nothing but unspecified form. That means a lump of clay. From clay, the world is made. So many images are made. And clay does not change even in those images. But this lump form breaks to give rise to another forms. No, lump has no specified form. That much is the Nirakar. And so, Nirakar about God with attributes is meaningless. It is unspecified form. So, and that is why the Brahma Samaj also depended upon the relation. God, Dayamaya, God, Ma, God, this and that. And a loving relation is established. So that went on from chapter 7 to 12. 12 was called Bhakti Yoga only because the difference from this Saguna worship and Nirguna worship was analytically described. So it got the name Bhakti Yoga. And at the end of the 12th chapter, Shloka 13 to 20, Shankaracharya said the Nirguna Bhaktas are being described. We felt that Whether Nirguna and Sagun, those who have reached the goal, they are described. Now another point we discuss therein. Bhagavan had told Arjuna that there are different people who worship the Nirguna. What is the worship of Nirguna? What is Nirguna? What are the people who worship them? What is the worship? This he had described in the beginning of the 12th chapter. And it pointed out as if to Arjuna that you are not for that. Your path, as described in the last sloka of the 11th chapter, is Saguna worship through which you can reach Nirvana. Now, in the 13th chapter we find, so dealing with Bhakti Yoga is over in a way. In the 13th chapter we find Arjuna has not asked a question. But Bhagavan starts telling something unique. Unique in the sense it was never dealt with from chapter 1 to 12. And the special point was that the consciousness is one without a second. That was absolutely a new point. Bhagavan had said, this body, this personality is called the field, the agricultural farm. Because with the help of that, you sow your seeds and reap the results thereof, your karmas. This personality, and that personality now will be described in Shloka 5 and 6. So that personality did not mean only the gross body which we possess. So we use the word personality. Your body, your vital organs, your mind, your buddhi, your I consciousness are all the farm. And one who knows this form objectifies this form from head to foot, just as we see others from head to foot. So one who can observe his own personality from head to foot. That means he has come away from that personality and is able to visualize, I am not that. Such a person, such a position is called the knower of the field or the farmer. And then that was only one aspect of that farmer. In the next shloka we are told that I am the farmer, I am the kshatrajna in all the fields of the world. So we had found Chetana is not individualized. My consciousness, your consciousness does not stand. Because when we try to find out my real nature, which is consciousness, then anything associated with I or mine cannot be the consciousness. Consciousness has no form. Gross or subtle. Consciousness cannot have a form because thing having a form is material. Thing having a form is finite. So consciousness cannot be finite, consciousness cannot be individualized. And so God had said, I am the consciousness in all the bodies. That was the shloka, second shloka. Then in the third shloka was like an introduction Or in short, he had said that kshetra, what it is, what comes out of what is the modification of what, I shall tell. And he, the kshetrajna also, what he is, how his presence is felt in our life, that also I shall describe. And he had said, the knowledge of this kshetra and kshetrajna, that is all the knowledge. There is nothing in the world to know further. Knowledge of kshetra means to know what I am not, which I feel today I am, that I am not. That is the knowledge of the kshetra. And then what really I am, what is my real nature, which is not different from reality one without a second, that is the knowledge of the kshetra. And so, other than this, what can be the object of knowledge? And then in the fourth shloka, we were told that I am not telling something new, but eternal knowledge called the Vedas, which the sages, seers have experienced directly. They have sung about it in different meters, in different Vedas, and by words indicative of the absolute reality, fully rational, fully certain, guaranteed. After that, now we come to shloka 5 and 6, which you had read that day. Let us read again. So we have got a connection now. Our mind has come to that point where we can understand that. Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktameva cha indriyani dashekam cha pancachendriya gochara इच्छा द्वेष सुखम दुखम संघातश्चेतनाधृति एतत् क्षेत्रम समासेन सविकारमुदारितम महाभूतानि. Maha means all pervading. Bhutani means that which makes matter, the elemental state of matter is Mahabhutani. This matter which we see is gross, but that is made by subtle particles which we cannot see. And that is present in this personality of ours. And that is present in the world which we see as objects. So, in the 7th chapter, let us remember, this was called Apara Prakriti. So same thing is being described there. There it was told Ashtada Bhinna Apara Prakriti. And there also the words were similar. In the 7th chapter, the very beginning, we were told
4-5.
Bhumir apo angalo vayuhu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankar iti amme bhinna prakriti rashtata. So this Bhumir apo angalo vayu kham. These are the 5 elements. And they were subtle elements. So, same thing here is called Mahabhutani. Then, Mano, Buddhi, Ahankar. So here, Ahankar, Buddhi, Avyakta. So, Ahankar is that I consciousness, which is the result of this combination. when matter comes as a combined way called the body or the mind, then a reaction like ahankar comes. So this ahankar is the result of the combination. And then we have a determinative faculty. Then this I consciousness, these are always overlapping. This I consciousness decides my feeling, my action, my thought. I see this, I will do this, I feel like this. So ahankar and buddhi. And then avyaktam. Avyaktam is the indiscrete nature. We have tried to explain that very much, many times. This directly refers to what we feel we are or the world is in our deep sleep. Not manifested, indiscrete matter. That day, did we talk about mathematics and all that?
No.
No. Okay. I shall explain it a little important point. Now, in mathematics, a point is defined as it has a location, but it has no length, breadth, or thickness. Which we draw by pencil is never a point. It's a circle. So, point is an abstracted idea that it has no length, breadth, or thickness. It has only a location. Now, if such be the point, you can add infinite such points, but you will not get any shape, any line. Because then there is no length, breadth, or depth. 1, 2, 3, 4, any number, it is not giving you anything continuous. Oh, we have talked about this in Hindi class. On the other hand, if you get a line, then infinite points can be found out from that. All types. That is what we call integers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then fractions, 1 by 2, 2 by 3, all that. Then irrational numbers like root 2, pi, all are in that line. So this line is similar to indiscrete matter. From indiscrete matter, anything can be made out. And the indiscrete matter will all present in that discrete matter. But from discrete matter, you cannot make the indiscrete matter. This is the idea. So that is called avyakta. Experience in deep sleep. We know we are there in deep sleep. We know we experience, but what do we experience? There is nothing concrete object to be experienced, subtle or gross. So I have by now idea of avyakta is clear. So avyakta is very much present in my personality, in deep sleep, and in dream and waking state. All that material is made by that very avyakta. So these are the 8 apara prakriti as mentioned in the 7th chapter. Okay. Then certain things we feel as subtle, present in my mind, my vital forces called indriyas of knowledge, indriyas of work. brain centers, which are not seen. These are not indriyas. These eyes, ears are only locations where those indriyas work. So indriyas are subtle. Indriyas are 10 and 1. 10 means we receive sensation, 5 types, and we send orders of 5 types. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha are perceived. So those indriyas, brain centers, 5 are required. And we have outside in the body hands, feet, vani, and 2 lower actions. So we have brain centers working through them. We catch something. That means through my hand, we walk. So through my legs, that organ functions. I speak. Now this very fellow tongue tastes and speaks. So it is location for both the Jnanendriya and the Karmendriya. And then 2 lower things we know, throwing out the excreta and all that. And we require mind. Mind is not one of the indriyas. Mind does not separately perceive anything. Mind works through indriyas. Mind works through Jnanendriyas, mind works through Karmendriyas. And mind, without mind, the indriyas will not be able to perceive anything. The mind attaches itself to some of the indriyas and then that indriya functions. Mind can attach itself to 1, 2 or all indriyas together and work. Mind collates. That means eyes see, ears hear. But what is that thing that is made by mind? The mind makes a thing out of perceptions of the indriyas. And mind gives them a unity. And mind is always cogitating, either this or that, either this or that. That is the function of the mind. Then it presents itself to the discriminative or this ascertaining intellect. So intellect decides upon all that which your mind has brought. And intellect decides this is the thing. Or I shall do like this. Or I feel like this. These are all functions of the intellect. This is your faculty. And all this gets meaning because I do this. I do this. So there is that I feeling behind all the actions of the buddhi. So including that buddhi and I, 10 indriyas plus 1 mind. And I perceive in my body, outside also, 5 objects of perception. So these 5 are gross, which are perceived. In the first line, 5 were subtle, not perceived, but I know that they are making my body. The subtle elements will combine and make gross elements which can be perceived. And these subtle elements make my indriyas one by one. And these subtle elements all together present is my mind. So this is the second line telling that 10 indriyas, the mind, buddhi, ahankar included, suppose, and 5 objects of perception. 5 objects which are directly perceived, gross. So these make 16. 10 indriyas, mind, 11. And 5 objects of perception, 16. So these 16 and the 8 in the previous line, 24, are what is found out by Sankhya's on analysis. So from Prakriti, Avyakta. Then some modification comes out of the Prakriti, and from that some more modifications come out. So in this way they have counted 24. These are the 24. All right. What is the point here? All these 24 are field, not I. Why they are counted? I feel I am the body. So it tells, no, you are not the body. I feel the subtle elements. No, you are not the subtle element. I may be the indiscrete matter behind them. No, you are not that indiscrete matter. You are not even your I consciousness. You are not the determinative faculty. You are not indriyas. You are not mind. You are not the 5 things perceived, whether in your body or outside. And then, in the next shloka, all people, as formatted by Vaisheshikas, the different Indian philosophies are what man feels from his position of the mind. What are my perceptions? Gross. On the basis of that, I want to make a philosophy. That is called Nyaya or Vaisheshika. Then I get subtler perceptions called yoga. And basing upon that, I make yoga and Sankhya philosophies. And then I find that all this is very limited. Though my buddhi may be very strong, I might be able to analyze so much, yet it is not perfect. The only way to know perfect knowledge is what the sages did. They have direct vision of everything. Their experiences are beyond indriyas. That is why they are called sages. That means Vedas are the only real testimony for the real nature. So, what ordinary people feel, what the Vaisheshikas tell us, mind. Ichha, dvesha, sukha, dukha, sanghata. What is this sanghata? This body, these subtle and gross elements placed in a particular configuration is this body. I feel that I am that. How many people can feel beyond that? I am the body. I am the body with my indriyas and mind. So this combination here is told, no, you are not that. That is not your real nature. That means you are not that. It is a field which has been given to do karma and get the results thereof. Without these, you are not doing karma. So your karma you do with the help of gross as well as the mental faculties. So this is also a field. And then Chetana, very important thing. This is not the consciousness in itself. About that we have just now seen, that consciousness has no form, neither gross nor subtle. But when a combination is made, a reaction of I consciousness comes. Ahankar. Ahankar is a way of the mind, but filled with the reflection of the real consciousness. You see the world? As soon as there is a body-mind complex, the consciousness comes there. How many jivas are there? Can't count. You see, there is a tree, and that tree is a unit. So there is a tree consciousness. But you break one branch, put it in the ground, then another jiva has come. So can you count the jivas? As soon as there is a body-mind unit, complex, countable, the consciousness reflects there. So this consciousness, apparent consciousness, the reflection of the real consciousness caught by a body-mind complex is called Chetana. And that is can't be our real nature because it is changing continuously. And here we should understand that the physical scientists said up to a few years back, what is called the modern science, the science which we are facing today is not called modern science. It is called postmodern science. So in the modern science, they said, yes, we know consciousness. This is a reaction of the complex. So that is this consciousness, which is not real consciousness at all. It is only a reflection. So the consciousness known to modern science was not a consciousness. The scientists used to give an example. Water is cold. Sulfuric acid is cold. There is no heat. But if you combine water and sulfuric acid, terrible heat comes. From where it comes? From the combination. So when things are combined, some new thing is born. And one more element. Sangata, Chetana, Dhriti. Now this Dhriti normally is translated as tenacity. What is tenacity?
Not to give up.
I explained, or all that is was in Hindi only. Reserve force, reserve force. I'll go to example, then you will understand. You are driving a motorcycle or scooter, and at one point it stops because petrol is over. But you give a shake and start again. Because some petrol is in a reserved compartment that you have taken up. That is called dhriti. Another example is this player, tennis, cricket, football, anything. Especially, we see this in tennis. Two opponents are playing. And at one point it appears that one will supersede. This man is losing his force. But then he raises his game and defeats. So he has reserve force, which is used to reinvigorate yourself. That is dhriti. Okay? And in this context, this dhriti is abhinivesh. I live. Now I become weak, this or that, I may not be able, but I don't want to give up my body, my attachment to the body. So this is Dhriti. Now, these again, Ichha, Dvesha, Sukha, Dukha, Sangata, Chetana, Dhriti. 7, huh? Yes. Now, these are counted by Vaisheshikas. In India, there are philosophers who are called atomists. Just like before the modern science came, people believed the world is made of atoms. So it is their philosophy. They take these things to be oneself. The mental functions in a rough way are taken to be themselves. So they are mentioned in the shloka that no, they are not yours. They are matter. All this Ichha, Dvesha and all that are waves of matter, subtler matter. This combination is a subtle formation. The consciousness rising there is a wave of the mind. This tenacity is another function of that mind. So these 7 felt by ordinary man or by the Vaisheshikas or by the atomists are clearly told that is the knowledge of the Kshetra. That no, they are not your real nature. That is not you. That is only the field through which you are going and reaping the results. Etat kshetram samasena, in short. In short means the principles. Savikaram udarityam. Savikaram. That they are the modifications of the indiscrete matter. Modifications of what becomes what. The mind becomes Ichha, Dvesha, Sukha, Dukha. So, Bhagavan says, I have described in short what is the Kshetra, along with its modifications. Let us read the Shankar's commentary from the Shloka 5. Stutya abhimukhi bhutaya arjunaya. In the 4th Shloka, Arjun's attention was drawn because these are subtle matters. So one should pay full attention. That was described in the 3rd Shloka. Me shrunu, listen to me. And Shankara had explained, listen to me means listen attentively, listen and meditate. Listen and make a clear concept. So, like that, having drawn Arjuna's attention, Bhagavan is telling, Ma bhutani, manti chatani, sarva vikara vyapakatvat. They are great because they are pervading all the other modifications. The 5 subtle elements make all the other modifications. Bhutani cha sukshmani. So they are the subtle elements of matter. Sthulani tu indriya gochara shabdena avidayishyante. Why don't take them as the matter? Because that will be in the 2nd line, pancha indriya gochara. So the gross matter is separately described. So this is not gross. This is the subtle. Ahankaro ma bhuta karanam am pratyaya lakshana. So ahankar means from that I principle, the 5 elements come out. And it is what are its characteristics? I consciousness, aham pratyaya. My experience, my feeling, I am, that is the characteristics. And from such I, the five elements, the I comes out of Prakriti. And from this I am, the subtle elements come out. Just like that line, and from that line points come out. Ahankara Karanam Buddhi. This Buddhi is to be taken as a universal Buddhi, which is called Mahat. So this Aham does not come out directly from the Prakriti. Aham comes out of that universal Buddhi, universal intellect principle, which is a modification of the indiscrete matter. Modification of the indiscrete matter is Mahat or the Buddhi element. From there, this I feeling comes. So these words have to be understood in Shankar's language. Buddhi, Ahankara Karanam Buddhi, Adhyavasaya Lakshana. What is characteristics? A decision. Now the fundamental decision of all decisions, I exist, that is the fundamental decision. Then I think this, I know this. They are temporary decisions. So the fundamental of all decisions is I exist. So that is that. It will be important somewhere, so I am telling you now. Adhyavasaya Lakshana. Tat Karanam, from where it has come? From Prakriti. So Tat Karanam Avyaktam Evacha, na Vyaktam, not manifested, not discrete. Avyaktam. Avyakritam Ishvara Shakti. So this Avyakta is God's power. In Vedanta, no further Sankhya there. God appears through names and form. That is God's power. So God first appears as indiscrete matter and then discrete matter. Ishvara Shakti. Mama Maya Duratya iti Uttam. In the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Devi Yesha Gunamaya. Maya Maya Duratya. So that Maya, which is Trigunatmika, which is material force, that is this Avyakta. Eva Shabda Prakriti Avadharana Artha Etavati Eva Ashtata Bhinna Prakriti. So, Buddhir Avyaktam Evacha. So, only this 8. So, 8 Eva Shabda is Prakriti Avadharana Artha. That Sankhya is called Prakriti, that is the discrete matter. So, these are 8 only. Etavati Eva Ashtata Bhinna Prakriti. So, this much is the divided into 8 Prakriti. Bhinna means Veda Jata, having broken into 8. We feel Bhinna means different. It comes from Bhid, to break. Bhinna is like past participle. Feminine, because Prakriti. So, Bhinna Ashtada Prakriti. Broken into 8 types. Cha Shabda Veda Samuchayartha. So, Eva Cha. Cha here means these 8 together. Next line, Indriyani Dasha Shrotradini. Pancha. Shrotra is taken as the first. The ear, Indriya. Then touch Indriya. Then Chakshur Indriya. Then Rasa Indriya. And smell Indriya. So, Shrotra Dini. Pancha Buddhi Utpadakatva. They give the decision. Decision is born out of these 7 indriyas, so they are called buddhi indriya or jnanendriya. Buddhi indriyani vak panyadini pancha karma nirvartakatva, hands, feet, etc. They perform the action. So they are karmendriyas. Karmendriyani tani dasha. So 5 and 5 are 10. Ekam cha kim tat? What is one? Dashekam cha. Mana. Ekadasham sankalpadi atmakam. Sankalpadi. Sankalpa vikalpa. Mind always works with this or this, this or this. No need. Something is coming from in front. Mind starts jumping. Is my friend or not? Is so and so or not? Immediately. That is the function of the mind. Sankalpa vikalpa atmakam. Sankalpadi atmakam. Sankalpa vikalpa. Panchacha indriya gochara shabda dayo vishaya. Then indriya gochar means the objects. Shabdadi. Shabda sparsha rupa rasagandha. Objects. Tani etani sankhya chaturvinshati tattvani achakshati. So these 24 are called by the sankhya the tattva, fundamental matters. You know the fun. Somebody said that what is tattva jnana? What is the knowledge of the tattva, thatness? That means the real nature of anything. Somebody said wrongly, 24, in that he included anything, not nonsense. Hadra. Thakur said, no. Tattva jnana means Brahma jnana. Tattva is only one. So how can so many be elements? Element or fundamental thing is only one. So that is kshetrajna, not here. Atha idanim atma guna iti yan atlakshate vaisheshika tepi kshetra dharma. So what the vaisheshikas and ordinary people feel as my qualities are also kshetra qualities. Eva natu kshetranyasya. They are not the qualities of the knower. Iti aha Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is telling them, naming them. So these are meanings. What Shankara is telling is meaningful. What people take as themselves, Sankhya that he announced, and Vaisheshikas that he announced, so they are not same. Icha सजातीय सुख हेतुम अर्थम उपलब्धवान पूर्वम पुनः तज्जातीयम उपलभमाना तद आदातुम इच्छति सुख हेतु इति सा इयम इच्छा. So what is ichha? Something had given him pleasure some time back. So he wants to get that thing again. That is called desire. So Shankara analytically described. Has it stopped? No, here it is going on. Why this shouted? Let it be. No complaint is coming. See. Okay? Adatum ichchati sukha hetu iti. For the sake of pleasure, he wants the desire, the same thing. So that is called ichcha. Sa iyam ichcha. That is this ichcha antakarana dharmo neyatvat khetra. It is the quality of the inner organ. And we can see that, my desire. We can see the desire. And so it is Kshetra. Object is Kshetra, not subject. So Ichcha is not subject, it is object. So it is Kshetra. Tatha dvesho yajjatiyanam artham dukkha hetutvena anubhutavan पुनः तज्जातीयम उपलभमाना तम द्वेष्टि सायम द्वेषो ज्ञेयत्वात् क्षेत्रमेव. So something had given him pain, and if he sees that thing again, he feels pain. So he wants to avoid that. That is called dvesha or hatred. It is also a quality of the mind, objective. So not reality. Tatha Sukham, Icha Dvesha are those desires which generate Sukha and Dukkha. Now Sukha and Dukkha are told. Tatha Sukham, Anukulam, Prasannam, Sattvatmakam, Deyatvat Kshetramayo. Now here, the Trigunatmika Prakriti is brought forward. Prakriti is Sattva Rajama. Sattva means shining, peaceful, balanced. Such thing only gives me pleasure. Pleasure is generated by a balanced state of the mind. So, Sattva is Sukha. Deyatvat Kshetramayo. That also is object I see, so it is Kshetra. Dukkham Pratikulatmakam Deyatvat Tadapi Kshetram. Deyam is that which is opposite to me, I don't like it. It does not give me pleasure. So that is also an object, so it is also Kshetra. Sangato Dehendriyanam Samvati. Deha and Indriya combination is Sangata. Tasyam Abhivyakta Anta Karna Vritti. Now Shankara has given a beautiful example to understand the consciousness theory. Sangata is over. Now Chetana. He says take a iron ball and heat it to make it red hot. Now it can appear like heat itself, but that is not its own. It's the heat of the fire which has come upon it. So this Chetana is like that. The original Chetana is reflected on this. So he gives this example. Tasyam Abhivyakta. Tasyam means in this combination is manifested. Antakarana Vritti, a wave of the mind. Tapte iva lohopinde, on a heated iron ball. Agni, Atma Chaitanya Abhasa Rasavidya. Chaitanya is only in Atman. And that Rasavidya, that means that quality is infilling this ball. So like that, this combination is infilled with the Chaitanya of the Atman. Chaitanya, Sacha Kshetram Jnayatva. So that also we see, I am conscious. I see my eye consciousness, so it is also Kshetra. So remember, I see means Kshetraness is. I am not identified with that. I should not be identified with that. So these are all matters of experience. I experience that, so it is Kshetra. That means I can objectify that, I should objectify that, then it is Kshetra. Shruti Dhruti Yaya Avasada Praptani Dehendriyani Driyante Sachadnetvat Kshetra. Ordinary definition of tenacity. When the Indriya's body have become tired, exhausted, then we get them up again. That is called Dhriti. Sarvantakarana Dharmopalakshanartham Ichchadi Grahanam. Now, in our Antakarana, there are waves of various types. The Western call it mind seat of consciousness, thinking, feeling, and will. That is the Western concept. But in Aitareya Upanishad and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in Aitareya, 10 functions of the mind are told. Brihadaranyaka also 10, 15. So they are all similar. But these are main representing that. What is Shankar says? That there may be so many types of it. They are not included. Because Vaisheshikas have not talked about them, but they are all to be known as Kshetra. Any function of the mind is to be called Kshetra. Kshetra Dharma, qualities of the Kshetra. Ichchadi Grahanam. So this Ichha Dvesha Sukha Dukha is representative of all functions of the mind. Yet Uktam Tad Upasamvarati. Now in the last portion of the line, what he has told is summing up. Etat Kshetram Samasena Savikaram Savikarena Mahadadina Udaritam. So the Mahad word is not used, but that Ahankara Karanam, that Mahad Buddhi Tattva. So Shankar says that Savikaram means Prakriti and its modifications. Uktam Yasya Kshetra Bheda Jata Samati Idam Shariram Kshetram Iti Uktam. So this body is the Kshetra, this personality was told. So the combination of all these is called this body. Vyakyatam Mahabhutadi Vedavindam Dhrutyantam. Starting from Mahabhutani up to Dhriti, all this is Kshetra. Okay? Now, in the morning I forget every time. Tomorrow is Shri Ramakrishna's Jayanti. So there will be no class. Those listeners who are common to morning listeners or their friends, please inform them. Tomorrow morning or evening there will be no class. Now the next class?
Wednesday.
Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday your class is there,
Huh? Wednesday?
Wednesday in university.
That is even, this class is anyway not there.
Thursday.
Only about morning that doctors. Okay. This class is Thursday now. Okay. Om Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetra Ekapanaye Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gitamrita Duhe Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vitraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamrita Duhe Namaha.